You never know what goes on behind closed doors, and it's the unenviable task of a Virginia jury to decide what really happened in the bedroom of Christine and Brendan Banfield on that night, on a night nearly 3 years ago that ended with Christine and a male stranger dead. Brendan Banfield is on trial for a double murder. He was on the stand again today to give his side of the story, and what a story it was. Prosecutors say Banfield conspired with the family's au pair, Juliana Perez Magalhaes, who had become Brendan's lover. The two allegedly concocted a twisted plot to get rid of Brendan's wife by allegedly luring the stranger to their home to have sex with her and then killing them both. As you guess, Banfield's version of what happened that night is very different. Today, he described how he heard people having sex in the couple's bedroom. An IRS agent, Banfield says he approached with the room armed with his weapon. Banfield says he then burst into the room and found his wife naked on the floor. The stranger, a man named Joe Ryan, was next to her. He says Christine told him Ryan had a knife.
I did not want to shoot him. I wanted him to let her go. I repeated to drop the knife and to let her go. It appeared that he did a very forceful stab towards Christine. I saw him do a downward stabbing stroke, and that's when I fired at him.
Banfield says he then heard another shot and saw that Juliana, the au pair, had entered the room and was also armed with a gun.
There was another shot. And I looked up and I saw that Juliana had my other firearm. And I was stunned that Juliana had shot.
It is very rare for murder defendants to take the stand in their own defense. So is this just a Hail Mary, or did Banfield actually help his case today? Joining us now is Dave Aronberg, former district attorney for Palm Beach County, Florida. So did he help his case or hurt it?
Not sure, because the story that he gives is really kind of outlandish, and I don't believe him. But the best support for his theory comes from the digital expert who can say that the victim here, Christine, had full access to her computer the whole time. So there was no catfish. It really was Christine behind that mysterious fetish account.
Well, do we actually know that? We don't know that. She's dead, so we can't ask her. But are you saying this this nurse was, online asking strange men to come to her home for kinky sex?
It doesn't make sense. None of this adds up, and that's why I think he felt the need to testify, because he clearly believes he's smarter than everyone else. After all, he's an IRS agent who carries a gun. I didn't know too many of them do. So he is a guy who concocted, in my mind, this elaborate plan, thinking he'd get away with it. So why not go for it all by testifying? The problem is that he came across cold and calculated, and I don't think very likable.
Well, the prosecutor made a lot about the fact that in his version of what happened that night, he opens the door, he hears people having sex in his own room, goes upstairs, opens the door, gun in hand, why? But gun in hand, and sees Christine on the floor, and she screams, "He has a knife," according to Banfield. And then he watches as this strange man stabs his wife, I think several times, and does nothing at first. Like, the prosecutor was like, "How many times did you watch him stab her? Why didn't you shoot?" And he says, "I hesitated to shoot because I didn't have a lot of experience firing a gun in my job."
You're watching your wife get murdered, and
why didn't he run over there?
You would think, right? But also his actions afterwards. So you're focusing on his actions before, correct? His actions afterwards. He didn't call 911 right away. They took time to allegedly stage the crime scene, to move the bodies around, to actually put Christine's blood on the male victim here, and to show like his version of the story that way. But the blood evidence is telling. The motivation is telling. He had plenty of motivation, as old as time itself. He wanted to be with the younger au pair. Also, He was at McDonald's that morning, very conveniently, waiting for the calls, which did come in from the au pair to tell her where this guy was that morning. And conveniently, he was on the phone in McDonald's where they have all these cameras, in the one place they didn't have cameras, in the bathroom.
So what was his answer when questioned about why he waited to call 911?
He didn't, I think they called right away, or at least she, the au pair, said that she called right away but was told not to, and then he called later. So I don't know his explanation why there was a delay. Maybe it's the same thing where he's like, well, we just were so discombobulated, we called as soon as we could.
Yeah, well, prosecutors also submitted as evidence a 14-page love letter that they say Banfield wrote to Juliana when she was behind bars after the shooting. That's not going to look good.
Well, they also found, instead of pictures of Christine in the house, they found pictures of the au pair all over the house. I guess people grieve in different ways.
Yeah, I guess so. Dave Aronberg, it's quite a case. Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.